Hi, I'm Dr. Larry Barnett. I'm the inventor of the TorsoTrack, and I want to congratulate you on the purchase of the product. I invented the TorsoTrack about 3 years ago because patients were always coming up to me saying, "Doc, I need to exercise, I want to get in shape, I just don't have the time." And so I invented TorsoTrack because it's the fastest, most effective way to get a great upper body workout and a killer ab workout all at the same time. Now, before we get started, I want to go through a couple of phases with the TorsoTrack. The first is going to be on setup, and then the second will be on the correct position and use of the machine so you can get the best possible workout and the safest possible workout. Before we get started, I just want to explain what each of the individual pieces are. TorsoTrack comes mostly fully assembled, but there are these few pieces that take just a couple of minutes to put together. The first is the kneeling pad that you're actually going to kneel down on. The second is the handlebar, which you're going to hold on to as you slide out, and here's the foam grip that goes on it. And then the last is this kneeling bar that is going to attach to the machine for the kneeling pad to rest on. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to turn the machine over, and we're going to put these few pieces together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the handlebar, and we're going to slide it through the channel, and we're going to line up the holes on the channel and the handlebar so we could put this small screw into it and secure it. Once we're done, we're going to turn the machine back over, and we're going to put on the remaining foam grip. They slide on pretty easy, but if it's a little tight, just put a little bit of water on the inside, and that'll loosen it up, and it'll slide on very easily. Great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the kneeling bar and we're going to attach it to the bottom of the machine. There's a small pin here that you have to pull out at first, and then we're going to put the kneeling bar into the channel and put the pin back in. Once that's secure, we can now take the kneeling pad and place it right onto the bar. We're going to start with the first hole here, and we'll adjust for the correct position later. We're also going to put all 3 tension cords on the TorsoTrack to start because that's the easiest way to start. Remember, with the TorsoTrack, the more bands you use, the easier it is. The less bands you have, the more challenging the workout. Ultimately, you'll get down to no bands, and it'll be the most difficult workout you can possibly do. Now we're ready to get started. Let's get a model inside here, and we'll start exercising. Hi, we're back. We're ready to start exercising right now, and what we're going to do at this moment is we're going to set the correct position for Maureen to do the exercise properly. Now, if you remember before, we left the kneeling pad on the first notch, and we left all 3 tension cords attached, so it's easy to do it first. Now, Maureen's going to come out, and she's going to grab onto the handlebars, but before she slides out, she's going to tighten her stomach muscles just a little bit, so as she starts to slide, she doesn't put any stress on her back. See how her back is nice and straight? That's the way we want it. We don't want to have a big camel arch inside of it. So she's going to start to slide out now, and she's going to go out as far as she can. Now, she hit the end, which means that the kneeling pad is up a little bit too far for her, so we're going to adjust it so it's correct for her by moving it back a notch. We're just going to take it, we're going to slide it back, move it 1 notch, and we're going to try the same thing again. Hands on the foam, tighten the abdominal muscles, and we're going to slide out. Now that's great. She didn't hit the end of the machine, and that's the correct position. We want to be able to extend our body the full way out, but not hit at the end of the machine. Now we're ready to exercise. Now we're getting ready to start our exercises, and we're going to start at the beginning level first. All 3 bands are in place, which are going to make it very easy to do it first until we get a little strength and get familiar with the exercise. Maureen's going to get into position by holding her hands on these foam grips, and she's going to tighten her stomach muscles. And the easiest way to do that is to imagine if you were just pulling your belly button towards your spine. You don't have to suck it in and really tighten them. You just want them tense just a little bit, so as you slide out, you take the stress off your back. So she's going to do that, and she's going to keep her feet on the ground, and she's going to start to slide out, keeping her arms slightly in front of her as she slides out for perfect posture, and then come on back. And again. And back. Now, as she's doing this, you can see that she's getting more than just an abdominal workout. Her arms are working, her biceps, her triceps, her shoulders are working. You can see her back muscles working, the obliques, and of course the abs are working too, aren't they, Maureen?
Very much so.
And her posture is really great right now as she's doing this. And when you exercise like this on the TorsoTrack, one of the beautiful things that happens is you're exercising your muscles in synergy. You're getting your back muscles and your abdominal muscles together, biceps and triceps, back of the shoulders and front of the shoulders. When that happens, you decrease your risk of injury. One of the biggest problems that people do is they exercise what they could see and they overdevelop one area, and that sets you up for an injury. That'll never happen with TorsoTrack. Everything builds symmetrically. And you can see her neck. There's no stress on it at all. There's no one pulling on your neck. You're never going to have to do another sit-up again. Now, we've just seen Maureen do a few at the beginner level with all three bands on. What we want to do is progress through intermediate and advanced levels too. The motion is the same. It's just going to vary by how many bands we take on and off. As a guideline, with all these exercises, we want you to try and do about 15 repetitions and about 3 sets. So you would do 15, wait a couple of minutes, do another 15, wait a couple of minutes, and then do the last 15. Now, keep in mind, this is a guideline. It doesn't mean you have to do 15. It's just we don't want you to do more than that to start until you're ready to move on. If after doing 10, you feel like you're tired, listen to your body. That's enough. But we're going to start with 15, try and do 3 sets, and as we get stronger, we're going to take off the bands and decrease the tension. So we did 3 before. Now we're going to take 1 band off, and we're going to try doing it with just 2 bands.
Okay.
Now her form is exactly the same. She has her feet on the ground. Her abdominal muscles are a little bit tightened and sucked in. Her back is nice and flat. Her arms are extended out in front of her, and it looks like she's having fun. That's great. Now, to move on to the next level, it's just a matter of taking off another band. This was 2 bands. Now we can take 1 more off, and we'll have 1 band on. And this is an advanced type of exercise, and we would not recommend you start like this, but certainly after doing an exercise for a few days and you feel comfortable doing it and you're not having excessive soreness, feel free to take a band off. How does that feel?
Much harder than the first one.
That's great. Now, when you do get ready for the ultimate workout, and I got to tell you folks, this is going to be a long time before you get to it, you can take that last band off, and now you have no resistance pulling you backwards. It's going to be your full body weight on the track as you slide out. It's very difficult. Don't start like this, but this is something to shoot for. Show them, Maureen.
Yeah.
Now you can see as she's going out here, her muscles are really working. Her back muscles are really tensed. Her abs are really tensed. So are her shoulders and her biceps. As a matter of fact, I think she's starting to sweat a little bit. That's great. You've seen the TorsoTrack with the standard bar installed. What we're going to do next is put on the power bar, which increases the upper body workout, spreads it out across your upper shoulders, and gets those obliques for that real V-shaped cut. We're going to take out the standard bar right now. I've already unscrewed the nut that we installed earlier, and we're going to slide it out like this. And then we're going to install the power bar, same way we did the other one. Going to slide it through the channel, just like this, and we're going to turn the machine over and fasten the nut. See how this folds up? It's the way we use it for storage. The TorsoTrack has front wheels that lift and let us just roll it right under our bed. So we're just going to turn the unit over right now, and we're going to put this nut right back in where it was before. Once that's done and secure, we're going to turn it back over again, and we're going to install the additional foam grips. Now we can use the foam grips that are on the standard bar, on the power bar as well, so we can have actually 2 sets. We'll have a set in close and a set out wide so we can do the standard exercises and the power bar exercises. So we're just going to slide on the rest of these grips, just like that. And the same thing on this side. Just going to slide them on. I'm going to take the one that came off the standard bar and put it right on the end. Now we're all set to do power bar exercises. We have it all set up, and Maureen's going to start out doing standard exercises with the power bar. She's going to take her grip on the inside as we did before. She's going to tighten her abdominal muscles by sucking her abdomen in just a little bit, as we imagined before, just pulling your belly button in towards your spine. She's keeping her feet on the ground, her arms out in front of her, and she's going to slide out. It's exactly as we did before. Now we have this set up again with 3 bands on the easiest level till we get used to it. That's great. Now, with the power bar, what we can do is we're going to extend our grip outwards and grab it out here. That's going to spread the workout right across her upper back and chest and shoulders and hit those obliques too that give us that good V shape we were talking about before. Let's do that. That's a lot of exercise getting done right there. Looks easy, but it's really not. She's got 3 bands doing it. This is the beginner phase of using the power bar. You can really see those muscles working inside here. Notice her back is nice and flat. She's not arching it, and she's keeping her feet on the ground, keeping that good position. That's great. Now, to move on to the next level, we're going to do just like we did before. We're going to take a band off and go to that intermediate phase of exercise. Great. And we're going to take our hand position, and we're going to do the standard one first. That's great. And now we're going to come out and we're going to do the power bar ones. Great exercise. And you see, when you do this, you don't have to do all or nothing. You can mix them up. You can take some wide grip and work the up part of those shoulders and the obliques, and then you can take a narrow grip and work more of the center core of your body as we were doing before. That's great. To go to the advanced level, we're just going to take another band off, just like we did before. Great. Standard exercise with the narrow grip. Now we're going to take the extended grip and do the power bar. Just like that. Now this gets really hard. This is not the way to start the exercises. This is an advanced type of exercise, and we don't recommend you do this to begin with. That's great. The last level, the most advanced, again, is with no bands on, and we're going to take it off just like we did, and Maureen's going to get a grip on the inside. How you feeling that?
Really working.
That's great. Now here comes the most challenging one that she's going to do since we started this. She's going to take a wide grip, and she's going to extend out the whole way. Her abs are really working. So are her shoulders and her oblique muscles. Notice her perfect posture. Her back is straight. Her feet are on the floor. She's got her arms out in front of her. And she's breathing heavy. That's great. Now, if you're wondering what the secret of the TorsoTrack is, I'm going to tell it to you right now. It's something called the active negative.
Okay.
As Maureen slides out, her muscles are contracting, but they're also lengthening. That's called a negative. Come on back. The best and most effective way to exercise muscles is to have some fibers break down when we exercise. When we do a negative, our muscle is contracting but being pulled apart. There's no faster and more effective way to get exercise, and that's what the TorsoTrack does. As she slides out, most of her upper body muscles are getting that negative. As she comes back, her muscles are contracting, but she's doing it nice and slow, so she's getting conventional exercise inside there too. And that's the secret of the TorsoTrack. It's the active negative, having your muscles being pulled apart and stretched out while she exercises. And as a side benefit to that, one of the most important things is getting stretch. Exercise tightens our muscles. When you do TorsoTrack, it stretches your muscles out while you exercise. Well, I hope we've answered all your questions, and I know you're anxious to get started. And if you do have any other questions, please consult the handbook that comes with the product, and if the questions aren't answered there, please call customer service.